Hello, and welcome to Growing Gratitude. Hello, Bill. I see you there. Thank you for joining us. I am so excited to have you guys. I am Becca Laurie Hector, your host of Growing Gratitude. And this is it. This is our Monday morning ish afternoon get together, right? So we sort of kind of put a close on the week before and kind of get ourselves together and ready and motivated for the week ahead. I'm inside today. I will admit I am a little low on spoons and decided that the whole effort to pick everything apart and carry it outside wasn't so worth it, especially considering you guys that um, last week it was a little bit rough out there with the wind, I know, to hear. So I've done something about it. I've got a tripod on the way. I've got a smaller mic on the way, something that I can travel with me. I'm considering doing this on my phone and outside like a normal person. I don't know. It's on its way, but for today, I'm doing it in here so we can make sure we can hear each other. So, welcome to Growing Gratitude. And I'm going to officially remove the sunglasses so that I can go ahead and talk to you guys about um, all of the things that I kind of was challenged with this week and what I'm working with and kind of what I'm looking forward to with the week ahead and kind of what were the things that got me through. And I'm hoping that what that does is inspire you guys to share the things that you were challenged with here in chat. It is open. I feel very crooked. Am I crooked? I don't know why I feel crooked today. Um, in any case, um, so you can share those things in the chat while I'm talking with each other. Talk to each other, please. Share the things that you were also challenged by to help grow the gratitude overall, right? So this week for me was sort of an interesting week. I told you I've kind of been in this transitiony phase, working through things, trying to also recognize that there are some things going on for me that were imbalanced. And I've really been noticing lately that I've been um, what is the word that I want to say? I want to say that I've been like walking around the pond of autistic burnout. That's what I want to say. I've been sort of like teetering around it and visiting it on occasion. Feels like it's closer to my memory than I would like it to be, and that really set me into some thinking about what are those basics. Like, what are the things that I know in my like deepest gut bring me joy? What are those things that I can count on, right, to really kind of hold me together when I feel like everything is kind of falling apart and I'm not going to make it, right? And so I share with you that my gratitude for this week actually goes out to, I don't want to say my husband, but to my relationship with my husband. It is something that he and I work on a great deal, even though it doesn't look like we're working on it. We pay a lot of attention to the way that we relate to each other. For both of us, that wasn't an area of safety for most of our lives. And again, he and I didn't meet each other until we were much older. But, in the years that we've been together, it's been 8 years now that we're together. I just feel heard and understood when I'm with him. I feel safe when I'm with him. I feel like um, whatever I'm struggling with, I can kind of like work it through in a safe space, right? And this week was no different. I was really, I guess I'm more burnt out like internally than I can recognize externally right now. But this week I had this challenge with eating, and that's a big old signal to me that something is really, really up. Like not just with eat, like I stopped feeling my hunger. I had no appetite, and then it from there it went to things just being in that very autistic way, not being able to put things in my mouth in that sensory way at all. So this entire week has been sort of a challenge around how do I modify? What are those basic foods that I know I can count on? What can I do to make sure I stay alive? Right. And in the midst of this whole crisis, right, of course, I share that space with someone else. And his understanding through this week of challenged eating really just made me aware of how incredibly grateful I am to him for all of the things that he is and does for me. But I'm so grateful for our relationship and the way we've learned to really balance each other out, right? And the way that we've learned to kind of work through that. And so, what did that look like for us? What do I mean by, I guess, all of that? Is when I find myself overwhelmed, I guess, to the point of being dysregulated, one of my signs, there are a couple of different signs for me that I'm in a dangerous place. One of them is that I become apathetic. I no longer care. And I'm somebody who cares very deeply about a lot of things. And so when I stop caring about things, that's my sign that things are not great. If I'm like, whatever happens, I don't care. That for me is not how I function. And so that way of being feels really untrue to me, which is a very dysregulating sign, right? For me. The other thing is this appetite nonsense. So this thing with food, I really, food is a struggle for me my whole life for lots of different reasons, not just for sensory reasons, but because I'm a woman who grew up in the United States in the 90s and, thin was in, right? And so food is a complicated place for me and my body image and lots of other things. But then it's also complicated by my sensory issues. And when I'm feeling really tired and really overextended and overstimulated, the last thing that I want to do is bother my body with food, which is crazy because my body needs it, right? But I don't want to, I guess, bother my brain with food. I don't want to give it any more to have to process. And food is one of those things that feels really hard for me. So, like, first, I lose the ability to really eat proteins. Like, I just stop being able to handle the mouthfeel of meats, right? And then it goes down from there until I get to like raw vegetables and like a few other nominal items um, until I'm feeling better and my body starts to crave naturally. I start to feel a natural craving for something bigger and more complicated, right? That's what it is, less complicated food. That's what my body always wants. And so it's been a week of that, of like trial and error. I'm so from New York, trial and error around what can I manage to eat and keep down this week, and what can I handle the mouthfeel of, and when should I supplement. And so Ensure is a big part of my life in times like this, and I do a lot of liquid foods and things. But it takes a lot of understanding from the person that you share your meals with, right? That is not what they're cooking that's not good, or it's not that that there's something up with wanting to spend time with them or anything like that, right? But that it's purely this outer signal that something's not great, right? If I'm not able to kind of do the food thing, is how I say it, right? And so that's what this week was like. And so in those moments, because I'm also feeling like energetically depleted when I'm not able to eat food, I was just leaning on my husband. And it's like it takes someone who truly loves and understands you to get that there's nothing that anybody can do about it. It's just like time and trial and time and trial, and to rest in between, and to just, what I've learned is to really follow my instincts as to what my body wants instead of forcing myself through it. That really doesn't work for me. And so that's what we did this week. We did a lot of that kind of stuff. And so sometimes it meant getting treats. Sometimes it meant having, Ensure in my coffee or in my cereal. And sometimes it meant just skipping meals entirely, right? Because I just couldn't do it. And um, being aware that that meant extra hydration or thinking about those kinds of things. And so I'm coming off kind of a like meh week. I've been in these meh weeks, but that's why I picked up doing gratitude again, is because I need it. I need it right now in my life as a way to kind of get through these challenging weeks and remind myself that there is a place on the other side of it when I pick up all my tools and I start using them. Right. And so I think about what this week would have been like for me when I was single, when I was all a solo object out in the world. And I know what it would have looked like. I probably wouldn't have eaten the entire week. I would have had like maybe a few snacks here and there when I became uncomfortable, hungry, but that's it. And that's not a good thing because that leads to the next week of that cycle, which is more of that. And the longer it gets like that, the harder it is to come back from it, just like all the other things, right, that go on for us. And so I was really grateful to have somebody kind of cheering me on and pushing me through what's really, it's annoying. It's annoying because you have to do it 3 times a day and like you need it to stay alive. It's just such an annoying nuisance of a process for me that I can't even tell you. Anyway, so that was my struggle for this week. And so my gratitude goes to having allowed myself the kind of relationship that I really need, and that he and I have sort of agreed to build into it with each other. And so that we feel balanced when one of us, we know how to balance ourselves rather when one of us is off balance, right? And so I'm really grateful for that, for having that place to lean, and know that he's going to be there and understanding, and also there when it's over. And I'm like, hey, let's go get, a big meal, or let's have this for dinner or whatever, because eventually that comes. But certainly food was my struggle for this week. And I'm hoping that the week ahead, right, I did some extra resting. Oh, so let me tell you what I'm going to do about it. What am I going to do about the fact that I'm not eating and all of these things? Well, I'm doing a couple of things. First of all, recognizing that I need to rest and I need to take some time away. It's also part of that bigger picture of recognizing that it was time for me to shift what I'm doing, because what I'm doing for work wasn't necessarily bringing me joy anymore, and all of those things. So it's part of that bigger shift and that bigger decision, and waiting for the results of that to kick in, right? But it's also saying, you know what, right now I might need some extra. I think I need some extra rest. And so I'm taking 2 days off this week in addition to my regular days off. So that has been my response, right? Using all of the tools in my tool shed, created through self-defined living, and the boundaries that I've set for myself. The best way forward, because forward is the only way, right, is to recognize that the way out is through this rest piece. I'm definitely feeling exhausted, even if I'm not like consciously feeling exhausted, like my eyeballs are open and I don't feel like I need to close them, right? But my body and my brain are tired in some way. And so I have to recognize that. And so I'm going to take a few extra days off this week, to take care of myself, to rest. And even if that just means lying on my couch and all I can give is 20%, right? That's 100% when I only have 20% to give. And so that's what I do. And so I hope, and I will come back next Monday and we'll see how it goes. I will have some extra days off behind me. We'll see what I did with them or end up doing with them, right? And kind of how that plays out for me. And I'll let you know if I kind of got back up on the food front, or where I'm at with that, and how I do, because that's what I want you guys to take away from this, is that when we stop for a moment and recognize that though we will always have challenges, if we build a life that we really feels like ours, we're surrounded with the supports and the things to be grateful for, even on the worst days, right? Knowing that I have the life that I built to come home to, that's gratitude enough for me. And there was a time in my life when I didn't have that, right? So that's recognition of kind of where we go and how we grow and all of those pieces. Um, but yeah, that's my gratitude for this week, and I'm hoping that these few extra days off will help. I might need more than that. We'll find out. But I'm going to take care of myself in the now, and in the now, the best that I could do is grab these 2 extra days, and I'm going to do it. And so I hope that inspires you to think about the things that you were challenged with this week. And I hope that all of those things, you made your way through them, and that there were things that motivated you through them and things that got you through. And what are those things? Because you need to be grateful for them. They are the glimmers. They are the reasons, the good things that push us through, right? So that is my reminder for today. Of course, you can reach out to me in any which way you'd like. I'm on social media. You can also find me through the links in the description of this video. I have links to my books. I also have links to my website, as well as some social media and some other places that you can connect with me. I love hearing from you guys, so please make sure you leave comments on the videos, or make sure that you participate in chat. I promise that I reply. I also really love hearing from you any other way, so reach out to me however you'd like. And I will be back here next Monday for the next Growing Gratitude Live that I will be doing. And hopefully by then I will have eaten more. I'll have a little more energy. We'll be back outside. I'll have a new microphone. Things will be happening. Oh my goodness. And with that, I say, do not forget to take care of your meat suit. Don't forget to take care of your headspace. And by all goodness sakes, please keep an eye out for those glimmers. They are the things that keep us going. And until next Monday, I will see you guys out and about, and be back here for Growing Gratitude next Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Bye.